but they just don't know.
What I told you, Cutter.
People seen it, but they just don't know. People seen it, but they just don't know.
Huh?
People,
Let's go.
people seen it, but they just don't know. People seen it, but they.
What's going on? What's going on? It's your boy Icon. We're here on 910 Sports Podcast Show. Once again, first and foremost, got to thank God for this opportunity because people, a lot of people out there that didn't wake up this morning, and I want to thank God for being able just to wake up first and foremost. And so, secondly, introduce my right-hand man, you know what I'm saying? Mr. Barry White Jr. voice himself, Mr. Barry White Jr., you know what I'm saying? Your baby mama's favorite host. The Mr. Do It All, himself, you know what I mean? Jacob the Great. What's going on, fam?
What's happening? What's happening? Good morning to all. Thank God for another blessed day on His green earth, man. And each day we get up, we got a chance and a choice another day to get it all the way right, man. So hope everybody's having a blessed Sunday. I hope your weekend has been blessed, and thank y'all for tuning in once again. We definitely appreciate y'all.
Yes. So, basically, if you got a topic, you can go in yours first, and I can do mine, and we go straight into mine, the one we just talked about, how we want to do it.
So, the first thing I want to say, a little surprising video I seen was Terrell Owens shows up at Allen Iverson's statue celebration in Philly. And he surprised AI, and somebody said, "Oh, Terrell Owens is here." He said, "Come on up here," and walked up, and Iverson turned around, and Iverson was just so surprised, man. He was just like, "Oh my goodness, man!" A person that's top 3 in receivers of all time is here to celebrate with me. And knowing that football was my first love. He talked about it a little bit. And so I like to see things like that, man. And so why you think T.O. made his business to show up in Philly?
Well, because one, I think Allen Iverson is probably I would say maybe third most loved basketball player of all time, behind maybe when you come up with probably love, respect, you know what I'm saying, behind probably Michael Jordan, probably behind, I would say he's probably right there with Kobe. When I say right there with Kobe, I don't know if the same love was a bit Kobe if he wouldn't have passed away that people show now. But I will say he's right there with Kobe when it comes to love, respect for him the way they do. Just because he was the way he played the game, the way he changed the culture of the game. And people, I don't care if you're a basketball player, football player, a regular person in society, you understand what AI meant to the game.
Mm-hmm.
So I just feel like, because to me, AI is the best player I've ever superstar I've ever seen. He's mad. He doesn't. You never see himself. He never takes himself too seriously. The game itself or whatever. The way he knew he was great. He doesn't take it like for granted, or he doesn't, go around pumping his chest saying how great he is. He just doesn't do it.
You're right. And I think out of all the players that you just named, he's probably the one that had the most fun with basketball.
Mm-hmm.
Don't get it twisted. He'll kill you on the court. He'll do you on the court, but he had so much fun with it. I feel like no other two people had fun on the basketball court like AI and Magic Johnson.
Yeah.
They was always smiling, always grinning, and somebody talked trash to them, they just smile. It was like it's competitive. So people gonna talk trash. They don't need to get emotional about it, but when it comes to and Shaq was like that too. Shaq dancing on the court and stuff like that. So when it comes to Mike and Kobe and other people, like they were just so serious on the court. They just focus on being the best so much for they forgot to have fun and show compassion and love for the game a lot of times. You know what I'm saying? It was like I'm a villain, you a villain. Let's see what villain is gonna win. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
yeah, yeah. I think the biggest part about the misconception of basketball players is everybody feel like everybody has to be one way when it comes to the way they approach it. To me, I don't care how you approach the game as long as you win and as long as you taking it, as long as you putting your best out there, you being competitive. Whether you friendly like LeBron, whether you smiling like jumping around like Steph, or you smiling like Magic, or you serious like Bird and Jordan and Kobe. I just feel like your competitiveness is really what it's all about. If you are you
Uh-huh.
competitive, actually trying to win, how much time are you putting on? And the biggest thing that the players don't is underrated, or people don't really talk about as much, is what you put on off the court. See, what made Kobe, what made Jordan, what made LeBron and Magic and Bird great, because the time they put off the court. Now, AI might not have put the same amount of effort off the court, but they'll tell you, every player that ever played against AI will tell you he was the hardest player to guard. They say he was harder to guard than Kobe and Jordan, because he ran, he never stopped. His motor was always running. He was the one. He was like Reggie Miller and Steph. He was always running, doing curls and running around. You couldn't just, he never just stood still, especially on the offensive side of the ball. He never stood still. You know what I'm saying? He was coming at you 100 miles per hour like a Russell Westbrook the whole game. So players who were great defensive players will tell you, like, man, shoot, you talking about somebody hard to get. I think Kobe even said it right before. He said, man, he was like, who was hard to guard, Jordan or AI? I think he said AI, because he don't never stop. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So
Yeah. And it's funny. It's funny you say that, man. To me, the most intensified defensive player said this about AI, and that's Ron Artest. Because I heard Kobe and Mike and Trace McGrady said Ron Artest was like a gnat in the summertime down south. You could never get rid of him, ever, man. He said, but Artest said, by the time you get through guarding AI a whole game, man, or switching up to guard him, he said, man, if you normally going out with the fellas, to a bar, to a club, and something to have some drinks, he said, man, you just want to take a shower and go to bed. He said your body would be so tired, bro. Like it's crazy, man. And I heard Mitch Richmond say the same thing about Reggie Miller. He said Reggie Miller used to have you so tired, man. You know what I mean? And players that play defense like Ron Artest, and that's what he was known for, playing defense. Like he would D you up. So when I hear him say that, and then hear Kobe say, "Nah, bro, he don't never stop moving. He was the hardest player to guard." So salute to AI, man. Salute to AI for one of the people that really changed the game of basketball. He
yeah.
did. He
Oh,
did. He really did. So
oh,
I can tell you this. When I was watching basketball, every young kid I knew that played recreation or summer league basketball, man, all of them used to go to like if they didn't have uniforms and stuff like that, all of them used to have an AI jersey on. Believe that.
yep. Jersey, the sleeve. A lot of players start wearing the sleeve because of AI. You know what I mean? Or whatever. Headbands. A lot of players started wearing headbands because of AI on the court. You know what I mean? So it's just of course, the way he dressed, his swag off the court, when he comes to the game with the big jerseys on, players started doing that. That's why David Stern said, you ain't about to turn this to no street league now. So he shut that down quick. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So he influenced the game in a whole lot of ways. But I'm gonna say this: I'm not a big statue person. So when a person does get a statue, it's cool. Getting their flowers. So however you want to celebrate somebody, whatever. I just feel like nowadays it's getting ridiculous with everybody getting a statue or whatever. I'm like, can we figure out something else different, like a street, or do something else different? I think statues is getting saturated,
You
oversaturated.
know, So I like what they did when AI was playing at Georgetown. He was so good in the city, and so many people used to get off work early to go to them games. In Temple Hills, Maryland, they named a mall after him. Iverson Mall used to be loaded. That's when I was living in D.C. So if you wanted to know what the rappers was, the actors, the up and coming models, the people of business, everybody was at Iverson Mall. You know what I mean? So
Yeah. There's
and
name
and
something in the city behind somebody, or you know what I mean? Because a statue it's not like it's all over the country. So whatever city you put that, like let's just say you put a statue in LA for Kobe. Instead of doing a statue, do something else. Name a store after him, or a major street in LA. You know what I mean, or whatever, Kobe Bryant Street or whatever. I just feel like the statue thing. But what I was gonna really say was, even though I'm not a big statue person, I don't like the fact, people, they making fun of how small the statue was. First of all, AI was probably, the size of the statue was probably the size of AI. AI wasn't that big to begin with. So people make fun of the statue, like how small it is and all this other stuff. And I'm like, okay, yeah, that's you can make fun, but like everybody ain't deserving of a statue when it comes to anything. I don't care if it's sports. I don't care if it's life. Everybody not worthy or ain't not gonna be privileged enough. I ain't gonna say worthy. I ain't gonna say privileged enough to be able to get a statue. So let's pay attention to what he accomplished, and not make fun of him, because AI is not one of the people that you make fun of because he's so humble to begin with. You know what I mean? So have his flowers.
Right. Well, I think that they'll give him a street name after him too, because I see they gave Dawn Staley a street name after her too. So I think they will probably do that, and I think where he from out of Hampton, Virginia, you know, they probably gonna name a street after him, and and I'm sure I heard you from my homeboy Newport News. He say like they building a sports culture art center. The Allen Iverson Sports Culture Art Center too. You said the center costs about $2.6 million. It's gonna be huge. You know what I mean? Yeah. So with that being said, hey man, salute to AI man, salute to him. So since we're talking about sports, Unthal James Simpson, OJ. You know what I'm saying? Unthal. You know what I mean? So Unthal recently died at 76 years old. To cancer, and it was very private that he had cancer. He was battling cancer because, you still see him out and about, and you really couldn't tell. He was being OJ, doing all these interviews, smiling, going to the beach and stuff like that. And so I think it's the reason why he kept it private. Because had he had announced it when he first got got the diagnosis of he was going through cancer, he's probably the most hated athlete in America. And he was the most hated athlete. So with that being said, how can he be hated more than Aaron Hernandez? I mean, the same thing. You know what I mean? For real, for real. Like once I watched the Aaron Hernandez interview, well, the doc series on Netflix, I was like, oh, he was a gangster. He was a henchman. And he was a boy toy. So, with that being said, why do people have in their mind, not to let things go? You know what I mean? Okay, he went to court. They said he didn't do it, but you got in your mind that, he did this, that, and the third, and he get cancer, and you say good riddance, and people say, oh, I'm glad it finally happened to him. The world is a much better place without OJ and stuff like that. So you got to be a cold-hearted person in a evil being to wish death upon somebody. And so, what do you think about that?
I just think people don't got nothing else better to do. It's popular to hate. It's more popular to hate than love. That's why everything on social media is about negativity, because it's more popular to hate than love. You know what I mean? And so at the end of the day, and my thing is, it's different from Aaron Hernandez. First of all, it was all kind of evidence. Like we seen it like on videotape and stuff, and the videos and stuff of him being pretty caught in what he was doing. And evidence of people snitching and all kind of stuff going on behind Aaron Hernandez's case. And his stuff was based out of hatred and and trying to have power over people the way with his crime. OJ's situation was more about, loving somebody too much and basically, just the whole thing. So it was kind of based on, you see that more often of people killing their spouse or doing stuff to the person based off of that more than you see what, what Hernandez, especially when they actually got a life, a good life for themselves. So my thinking is with OJ, my thing with OJ is that we wasn't there. We didn't see, it's still, to me, it's still questions about certain things. It was corruption going on. Did some of this stuff get planted? You know what I mean? Or whatever. And then my homeboy made a good point. I heard somebody else bring it back the other day. When they said they found Ron and Nicole, it was alleged that they was cut with like some kind of necktie, some kind of like whatever, like necktie cut or something. So it was like a cartel type thing. They made it like it was a cartel, like only a cartel would know how to do that type of knife cut or whatever. And so they was like, OJ wouldn't know how to do that type of slicing of somebody or necktie cut, whatever they called it. He wouldn't know how to do that. So they was like, and then they basically was saying, a lot of it was alleged that Ryan was her coke dealer, and basically they got caught up in something, and the people that they owe money to came and got them. So I don't know. So it's too much with Iron Hand. With OJ is questions, and my thing is that at the end of the day, nothing's there. So you wishing death on somebody when you can't. You just assuming he's guilty. The man got off, but he ended up doing prison time. So it's not like maybe not for that murder, but he did eventually go to prison. So let the man got out. You know what I'm saying? Let him live his life. Matter of fact, the man came out and went quiet. Because I was thinking a few days ago before he passed, I remember thinking, not on LJ in a minute. Like, I'm looking up stuff like, because like you said, he used to be out and about golfing, doing whatever, living his life. But he wasn't bothering anybody. So let that man live. You know what I mean? At the end of the day.
Right.
That went to prison, the only killer running around and living their life. Not the only one. You know what I'm saying?
Right. And the last interview I seen him on was with Cam and Mace, and they was having fun on the interview. Like, they was so happy to interview him, man, and to see that he was living his life. And they talked about music, sports, and they even talked about how he was a civil rights activist as well, but back in the day, because he was at USC in them oppression days, and it was hard for him, and they talked about how he kept his head on the swivel to get through that. He said, "I just went and played ball, man." He said, "I saw and I didn't see, and I would hear and I didn't hear." You know what I mean? He said, "That's how you navigate through the world." He said, "The prime example is they tried to destroy Bill Russell, and he navigated it quietly, man. Yeah, him, and when he came up with Jim Brown, they had something to say, but he still navigated quietly, not to put them in an uproar, not to go back and forth with them, but just to talk to his people,
Mm-hmm.
and just to talk to congressmen and senators and stuff like that. And so, it's a different way how you navigate out here, man, and you can get things done with the paper and the pen on black and white more than you can get something done with being loud. Because when you be loud, people react. People react in different type of ways. You know what I'm saying? So that's what it is. So since you said Caitlin Clark, I seen Lisa Leslie put up a post. I seen her say she's been a great contributor for women's college basketball. She definitely belongs on the USA team. I think she'll do a lot for the WNBA. Just look at her skill set in basketball, and let's not make this a racial thing. Let's make this about basketball. I said, man, wow. She's one of the greatest players to ever touch a court, and this is what she's saying. So, what do you think about that, Miss Lisa Leslie?
I mean, I agree. I think we too focused on the color stuff of it and not focus more on contract basketball. I think the biggest, pushback against Catlin Clark is people trying to go to college basketball, which she cannot go to college basketball. You know what I mean? She hasn't even won one championship. We talking about players who won multiple championships. We talking about, players like Swoops and Elisa Leslie. And we talking about Maya Moore, who won, I think, 3 titles. We talking about Deanna Taurasi, I think, who won a couple. We talking about players that came before her who put bucket who was bucket getters and at the same time won titles. You know what I mean? So, and what she done for women's college basketball probably never been seen, but that's been seen before. Steph and Dame show us that players can do what they're doing. And I kind of seen it coming with a player being on her level to be able to do that. Because shoot, if you watch and people don't pay attention to this, if you watch the college basketball All-Star Weekend or whatever you want to call it, when they do their dunk contest or 3-point contest, with the thing they do that the NBA just doing this last year, and college basketball been doing it for years. Who wins there on both sides? The women and the men got to get for the gender 3-point contest. The women went the time. You know what I'm saying? So it's not like it's a big surprise that a woman basketball player can play on the level, can shoot on the level of Steph. But I think, like I said, the biggest pushback with Clark is that she's the GOAT. She's not the GOAT because there's too many players who way more than her when it comes to champions.
I'm not saying she is, but with all the players that you just named, if we pull up the recognition of the awards they got during their 4-year run and pull up her 4-year run, I'm gonna send it to you though. It ain't even close. You know what I mean? The only thing she didn't win a championship. That's all.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So yeah, like you say, the championship sometimes outweighs people accolades and what they accomplished. But I think she's definitely in that conversation. Cause but man, Dallas Taurasi, you've been playing in the NBA, since Moses departed the Red Sea, the WNBA since Moses departed the Red Sea. You know, you are, older than the bow and arrow that the Apache Chief used to shoot at the Cowboys with. You know what I mean? So, no, what you said ain't wrong, but why say anything at all? I mean, it's your opinion, it's your voice, your opinion, but let let her have her shine, man. Like,
Well, you
you
talking
know
about
what I mean?
what you said?
Yeah, let her have her shine. And I'm gonna say this: you are right. A lot of times, the old heads, and I'm guilty of this sometimes too. Things evolve, games evolve, sports evolve, and so sometimes, we just gotta let them have their shine. I mean, I can say that Dame Leonard is exceptionally good, but I can tell you that I would rather have Reggie Miller on my team than Dame Leonard. You know what I mean? That's just my personal opinion. You know what I mean? But it don't take nothing away from him. Like it don't take nothing away from LeBron when I say give me Mike or give me Kobe. But it don't take nothing away from LeBron. You can't mention basketball without stating his name, and that's a fact. You know
Right.
what I mean? So it don't take away. It don't take away that you know I'm a bigger fan. I was a bigger fan of Maya more than I was Diana Taurasi. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
You
I
know, Uh, as far as point guard, as far as basketball, if we gonna talk about somebody, we gotta talk about the championship caliber of Dawn Staley. You know what I'm saying? And she did it on every level. So, you know, um, she didn't win a college championship, but as far as high school, 4 years in a row, she didn't win it with Virginia, but she was, man, it's so many accolades she got in college. So, but Caitlin Clark, man, I think she'll do well in the WNBA. And, people's in the uproar about, the big three. I be like, the big three is a shooters league. It's not like a league where you have a big person, I mean, like a power forward or center. It's and that's what he chose because the spotlight was on her. So, well, why not? And that can really open up another door for the WNBA to get way more sponsorships. You know what I mean? So that's how I looked at it.
well, I'm gonna say this. First of all, I think the word hate is used overused in a lot of situations. So when I hear people say that Don Taurasi hates is hating on Caitlin or basically jealous of her. First of all, do you know what Donna Taurasi? Look up her resume. First of all, it's no way reason how she's hating on her or jealous of her in any form or fashion.
Mm-hmm.
Donna Taurasi has accomplished in her career, college and pro. There's no way she's hating on her. First, secondly, I just feel like what she was saying was kind of, I mean, what did she say really was wrong? She just said when she get there, she got to prove herself all over again. Think about it, if Diana Taurasi could be she could be a mentor to Catlin Clark. Say to her, maybe one of those things she should have came to her behind closed doors and said that her like, listen, when you get there, you have to prove yourself again. You know what I'm saying? You playing against young people now, but you're gonna play against grown women who got mortgages, who got kids, who got whole 9 yards. So they every night type deal. So maybe she should have waited to say it off camera. But I think what she was saying was, I just think it was one of those things she gave her the real. Like, this was gonna happen when you get to that next level. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You getting all your fanfare, you getting all your love now. But when you get up there with them big girls, you know what I'm saying? On your big draws, it's gonna be a different story. Just like Lonzo Ball. LeVar Ball did all that talking, which I respect LeVar Ball because I'll be the same way if my kids was like that. But it put a spotlight on the son, and when you get Patrick Beverly coming out there trying to lock you down and talk trash to you, and you just a rookie first game out, then it's crazy. You know what I mean, or whatever. So I just feel like when it comes to Caitlin Clark, that I like what Don Staley said. Don Staley said she's one of the GOATs. You know what I'm saying? And I think that because we've heard Michael Jordan, or we've heard other past players in the past even say that they don't look at any time frame as like, oh well, this is the GOAT of basketball. Everybody has their era, whether it was Wilt, whether it was him, whether it was LeBron's era, whether it was whoever, whether it was Magic and whoever. Every is always like a 10, 15 year span where somebody could be considered a GOAT of basketball during that time frame. You know what I'm saying? And so I think that's the biggest thing when it comes to this whole conversation. When we start talking about GOAT, when we specify, I think that's kind of probably the reason why a lot of people get upset with LeBron because when people specify that somebody has to be the GOAT, and Don Staley said she's one of the GOAT. So I think that we harp too much on the word when people say somebody's the GOAT. I don't necessarily believe, I've said this, I don't believe anybody necessarily can be the GOAT of anything if they play against each other or in each other's era. So I just think that at the times, and I think that's what kind of always bothered Kobe. Kobe and LeBron never was on that big stage against each other to say, okay, let's both be in the NBA Finals at the same time. It's who really is that guy. And they never had that chance. So I just think that when it comes to GOATs, you got like it, because what we do in rap, we say give us our top 5. You don't never say who's got to be the GOAT. Such as what's got to be in anything. Everybody say top 4. You give me your top 5. Give me Mount Rushmore, basketball or football, baseball. You know what I'm saying? Rap. You know what I'm saying, or whatever. But when soon as somebody say, oh, he got to be the GOAT, and if you say anybody besides Jordan or whatever, did everybody get in an uproar about it? Or Kobe will get everybody get in an uproar about it. And like I said, the Kobe thing is one of those things I always put an asterisk beside it, not to saying he's not, but a lot of people who say that he's wasn't saying that before he died. And the reason why I say even Shaq made a reference one time on like First Take. He was on First Take one time. And he said to Stephen A and all of them, he said, why y'all in the GOAT conversation? And then Cole, of course, they made his point, whatever, why he don't. And then as soon as he died, all of a sudden he up there with everybody want to put him in the top 5.
Well, I ain't never thought that Kobe really got the initial props that he deserved. I just really never thought they did, man. I just thought they left him at top 5 conversations, top 3 conversations, and the GOAT conversation. And for the life of me, a lot of people, man, like have they really analyzed Kobe game, man, and how much he worked in the offseason to become the player that he was? And so I just think that Kobe was a no nonsense player on the basketball court, and I think people be like he a hole, but it's like Magic Johnson say, you play this game to win. You want to be the like like Denzel said on Remember the Titans. I'm the best. I'm going to win. And I think that was Kobe's attitude, man. It's just some people is their attitude, their emotions, their heart, their passion, their drive, their power into it, and it's like, what am I doing this for if I'm not aiming to be the best? What am I doing this for if when you step on the court with me, you really know that you got to shoot 3,000-4,000 different jumpers in the off season, cause the thing about it, if you didn't work out during the off season and Kobe came back, he was going to embarrass you, and that's a fact. It's like LeBron. He's 40 years old, bro, and he's embarrassing people because he's worked on the off season all those years, man. Like Mike come back from playing baseball and people talking trash to him, and he dropped 50, he dropped 45, and I can remember when Ronnie Cycler was just on somebody's podcast, right? And he said, man, I remember, man, we was up by 18, and Steve Smith and Tim Hardaway was looking at Mike like, yeah, we got you. He said, man, Mike had 3 points in the first quarter. No, he said Mike had 0 points in the first quarter. He said, man, for me to witness somebody drop 45 points in 3 quarters, I was like, why did they even say anything to him? He said he was just scratching his head, man. It's like, it's like LeBron. People can say something to LeBron. LeBron will be having an all right game. He be getting people involved. But then when they start talking that trash, he just take over the whole game. He's unstoppable, man. Just, people be trying to let people breathe and trying to let them live, like, to get other players involved and make it competitive. Because, it's certain players, if they take the game over, bro, it's a wrap. You know what I mean? And I think, when it comes to Mike, Kobe, and LeBron, they are those players. You know what I mean?
You even heard Skip Bayless say he like the favorite LeBron. And I've always known, even though I was a kid, I had guys I knew. If you played against them, as long as you ain't start talking trash, they might play decent. But I had my homeboy, that joker there, and he had one of them 15-foot jump shots you could not stop with, get it going. And as soon as people talk trash to him and get him upset, as soon as he get mad, man, that you might have put him on automatic. You might have put a button to say automatic jump shot going in. That joker won't miss. You know what I'm saying? He might get straight on you. You know what I'm saying, or whatever. You piss him, and I'm like, when I would play against him, I'll be out there, friends already, so I'm out there, making them laugh and joking with them. You know what I'm saying? You don't need to make this. What you doing? You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. You're like, well, you crazy. And you know what I'm saying? So he might be over the corner. I done got him distracted. So he more sitting around letting everybody else do all the shooting and stuff, more than him shooting himself or whatever. You know what I mean? Now, winning time, them last couple of buckets, he gonna get his bucket off. But other than that, no, he ain't gonna kill me for 20 or 30. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean?
Right. And then, speaking of that, man, I just think it's certain players that can do that. But I know you say you want to discuss the NBA playoffs. So today is the last day of the regular season game.
No, hold on. Before we go there, let's talk about this Don Staley thing.
What about Dawn?
So I seen an article that was saying something about her. Is it time for a women's basketball coach to go play in the NBA? And they was talking about the Charlotte Hornets, and that's why I made the comment. I made a post the other day. I would love to see Don Staley go to the NBA, not for the Charlotte Hornets. And it had no shade towards Jordan, but Jordan messed up the Charlotte Hornets. He ruined that organization. He was a terrible owner. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. It got nothing to do with GOAT conversations, none of that. He was a terrible basketball owner when it came to the Charlotte Hornets. He didn't know how to pick coaches, GMs, players, nothing. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying? I know not them, not right now. Maybe in a few years, turn it around. But I would love to see her before the history of basketball. And I think women should get their opportunity. We already got women referees. You know what I'm saying? Becky Hammond maybe get a shot first because she's already been there, for a few years. You know what I mean? Under Coach Spo. I mean, not Spo, but Pop. But I feel like whoever it is, whether it's Don Staley or somebody, need to get an opportunity. She's won at the highest level. She's never going to be, put it like this, Don Staley will never be considered the GOAT of college basketball if that would be the thing, because Gino was so far ahead. He going to forever be, there's nobody catching that. But she could start a whole nother legacy in the NBA, and I think players will respect her because she's won on the highest level, on every level. College, NBA, college, high school, coach, player. So I think people respect her or whatever. So I would love to see it. And she's black too. So I would love to see her first. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, it's Sunday, and the pastor would say, thank you for coming in God's house. He's still in the blessing business. But and somebody in the congregation would say, well, let me tell you what I think. And I'm about to tell you what I think, Icon. Not gonna work, man. Testosterone and masculine energy, and they won't listen to a male figure that have the same muscles that they have, a male figure that's played in the college and played in the NBA. Maybe the male figure wasn't good as they was, but they still made it to the NBA. I just don't really think that this generation of players, I don't think they will listen. I just don't think they will listen, man. Because it is a players' league. So it's not a coach's league. So, and if they won't listen to a male coach, I just don't they'll listen to a female coach, no matter how great she is. I just don't think they'll do that.
Well, I'm gonna say the reason why I disagree with that to a certain degree. Because I think that whole that mentality that you're talking about, I think that's that old school mentality. We can't have a woman president. We can't have women doing this. We can't have that. In the era of anything you say against certain, like if it's against LGBTQ, if it's against women, if it's against that, I think the whole thing now is I think players who would kind of push back or go against Don Staley as a coach, it would be such a big uproar about her being reason why they hating on her because she a female type deal, that I think the players in this era wouldn't want to. They wouldn't even want to go there. They wouldn't even fight that again. They'd be like, the first time somebody did it, they might be dang near put out the league if they not a superstar, if they fought again. So
I'm not saying they'll do it directly, Icon, but once you get there, are they really going to listen? Like, you can do something that's indirect and people still see it. That's all I'm saying.
I think we should I just want to see it. Like, let's just see if it'll work or if it don't work. If whoever it is, if it's Don, Becky, if it's somebody else, if they come in and it don't work, but it got to be somebody that the players respect. You can't just put anybody out there. You got to have somebody. At least if you get two players that actually female coach, then people will respect it even more. So if you just put, like, let's say you took let's just say you took Diana Taurasi or whatever, somebody like her or somebody, and they ain't never coached before, and you just put them out there and made them a coach, and they ain't no kind of coaching or nothing, then the players might not respect it. The assistant coaches that's men who ain't got their chance might respect it. You know what I'm saying? But if you take somebody like her who's won in college, player, and in the WNBA as a player, and on the highest level of college as a coach, she's paid her dues. So if you put her in and put her on, and I didn't think about it, it'd be crazy if you put her and Becky on the same squad and both of them like coach and assistant. You know what I mean? And let's just say Becky was the coach and she was assistant, and then they started something, and then you made with the other one the head coach at somewhere else. You know how crazy that'll be? You know what I'm saying? And they out there, man, shoot. That would change the whole landscape of the business. The whole. Now I ain't saying to put women on the court with the men, but coaches do it. I really do. You know what I'm saying? I really do. So And the thing about with Don Staley is Don Staley has a laid back, no nonsense approach about her. You know what I mean? She's not a pushover. She's not gonna allow you to talk to her any old kind of way, or whatever. And she at the same time, she's a Christian woman. So at the same time, she has a respect, I think, on that level too. So I think to me, out of everybody, and not just because of race or anything else, I just think as well, I've seen her the way she approaches the game, and the way she approaches whatever. I think that the respect she garnishes, I think would be great for the league, for basketball, because I just feel like she approaches the game with so humble with it, but she don't play no game. I think that Don State approaches the game. You know what I'm saying?
And I do hope that happens, man.
Oh,
You know, I hope that happens, and I think that'll really change the game, that'll change people's mindsets. But you know, man,
and
I think it could happen.
That dress game, her dress game ain't no joke. Ain't nobody, ain't no coach in any sport dressed like Don Staley. That joker there, boy. I watch games.
Are we speaking from a professional standpoint or urban standpoint?
What you mean, the way she dressed?
Yeah.
I'm talking about on the sideline. When she
That's what I'm saying. Is that an urban standpoint or a professional standpoint?
I don't care what it is. She make it look good.
Okay.
What it is. She make it look good. Like, to me, all them stuffy suits, okay, it's cool. But hey, them sweaters and them hood, I mean, all of them, a lot of them women be dressing, you know. Now the color scheme sometimes be a little bit crazy for me, like the culture of LSU. But hey, but Don Staley with them Gucci sweaters, and I'll be like, shoot, let me get one of them joint days.
Now, I'm gonna tell you about me, man. The coach from Texas, yeah, she can dress. She can dress.
Okay. Now I would like to see like a Don Staley get a black brand and start wearing a brand. Like, oh, what she got on? Who was that? And it'd be somebody from my culture brand. I would love to see how the same swag with that though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's good. But But I think if they do that, it'll really change the narrative, and I do hope it happens. And I would love to see an NFL head female coach.
I don't think that'll work. I don't think that'll work.
Yeah. I mean, if you're gonna do it for one, well, why not try for all?
You can't really make that make sense because by football, a woman can't. Not maybe an assistant, but I don't see a head coach. I don't see, because they barely listen to the men head coaches. So I know they ain't listening to no woman that she ain't never played the game, and she telling them how to do this and fight through this, and fight over the block and run a certain way and do all that. I just don't think that. Now I'm not saying I'm not against it. I'm just saying I don't think it'll work. If it happens, I'm for it. I'm a cheer for whoever it is. I'm gonna root for them. I just don't think it's gonna work. I don't think that'll work in football.
Right. No, I mean, cause I've been seeing people post about that, you know what I mean, and they be talking about you ever think it happened, and people be like, nah, I don't think that'll work. But I just wanted to bring it up and see what you thought.
Nah, not first. Basketball would have to be first because men and women both play that sport, and so they kind of understand, the levels that it takes to get greatness for that particular sport. Every football, a woman, they got football leagues, but it's way different. So I just don't see it being the thing that would work right now. I think you have to do something like for it to work. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So but anyway, you say NBA playoff. So,
I mean, it's gonna be interesting. I think these cats with these younger teams, man, these younger teams be like, I said that I don't know who I watch after LeBron and KD and Curry leave, but I kind of didn't change my mind on that. You know what I mean? I didn't tune in this year more than I tuned in last year when it comes to the NBA, and so every game that I can catch Jalen Brunson, I watch it. Everything I can catch Edwards in, I watch. Every game I can catch Shay in, you know what I mean? for OKC. I watch, and I also like watching the Pelicans now. I love watching Sacramento young team. So it's a few teams that I'm in tune with, and then I can tell you this: if Orlando Magic get a couple more pieces, man, because they only be losing games by 5 or 6 points, 7 points. You know what I mean? So they just missing a couple more pieces. They gonna be good. When, when I looked at their record today, I didn't really know they was that much over 500. They 46-32, and I remember a couple years ago they ain't even win 25 ball games.
You know, I find it right.
Who?
Clay.
Who is Orlando?
Well, they're talking about signing Klay Thompson in the offseason. So
Okay.
we'll see. We'll see. I think that'll be good because they don't need another young player. They need a veteran and somebody who's won at a high level like a Klay. That's gonna teach them how to understand. Like, because Klay is a serious cat. So Klay gonna come in there with that serious say, this is what we need to do. This practice we need to have. If you don't practice hard, if you don't already work on your game, I'm gonna show you how to do that. You know what I'm saying? So I think Klay would be perfect for them and to give them a shooter. And Klay gonna be super motivated. If Golden State gonna give him his money, watch Klay go in Orlando putting up buckets like old Klay. Like, you know what I'm saying? Watch how he take over games at times if he go to Orlando. And him and Banchero would be a perfect combination because Banchero getting to that point where he hard to stop and you got to focus on him. And then you put somebody like a Klay out there on that outside hitting threes. Oh yeah. I mean, that might be a nice little combination. But I'm with you, like, you got to think about it. When Michael Jordan retired, hit the first time, it was so abrupt. But what happened? We ended up getting like an AI, you know what I'm saying? And, players like that, that a player like that who came in and from right after that, you had Vince Carter, you had Tracy McGrady. So you had men behind them when you thought the game was dead, and they talked about how the ratings dropped so when Jordan left. They came back to life. Certain players came in the league. You had after AI, Kobe started, him and Shaq was dominating. Of course, you had Dwayne, LeBron, and Carmelo era. All that kind of wave came in. I just think that, you got to kind of play out. But, my biggest thing I like what I told you about the other day about Ant-Man. Ant-Man, I see when people say, oh, I compare, is he I wouldn't say nothing about him being the next. But if you watch the way he kind of, his body movement, not like the way Kobe was with it, but like you could see how the way he kind of handled himself on the court. It kind of reminded me of MJ a little bit. But, you know what I'm saying? And plus athleticism is out the gym. You know what I'm saying? Of course, with that. So, at the end of the day, I think my main thing with him is I feel like he doesn't understand. Like, one thing about Jordan that made him different to me back in his day was he understood the moment every time. He understood, okay, in the game, I start off, let me get my game. Or I start off, let me get Pippen and Curry and all them other guys going. You know what I'm saying? He understood that. Ant-Man don't understand when to dominate a game. He wants to dominate a game in the second or third quarter. No, bro, we need you to dominate the fourth. He don't understand every night. You know what I'm saying? I said, once he get to that point, he understands. I don't care what, even that night when Cat put up, was it 60 or 70 that night? Y'all shouldn't have lost that game. Because even when Cat put up that 70, then you seen that y'all was still losing. You should have said, I need to take over this game. You know
right. You're right. And then I'm gonna tell you who do understand, but he had some, outside troubles off the court, and then he got hurt. We can say what we want to say. When Ja Morant is on his game, he understands that he is that dude the whole game.
Oh, yep. That's why I kind of brought out, like, man, I want to see him redeem himself or whatever. I know everybody want to throw him away, but I'm like, man, he make mistakes. He young, but he still got a chance to get it right. And like you say, Ja Morant, he one of them guys. He scared me more than all these other young players we talked about. Ja Morant scared. If he ever get it right and they get that team really going, he the one that scared me the most. Because I know with Ja Morant in the fourth quarter, he taking over the game. You know what I'm saying? Ain't no ifs, ands, or buts about it. John Morant will take over a game in a quickness. He understands the moment every time. You know what I'm saying? Or whatever. And if his game is improved, so I hope in the offseason he work on his jump shot more or whatever, because getting to the basket, that ain't nothing for him. But if he working on that jump shot and he come back with and can shoot around maybe about 30, between 35 and I say 40%, you know what I'm saying, from three.
Cause the thing about him, man, when he got the ball in your hand, you cannot check him. I don't care what nobody say. I haven't seen him get shut down from nobody, bro.
No.
And he always want all the smoke. He always want all the smoke.
I ain't gonna talk junk to you while he giving you the smoke.
Yeah. So I think you're right about him, but I also think that the biggest disappointment and the biggest mistake was made in the NBA is when the Milwaukee Bucks hired Doc Rivers. That's the biggest mistake, man. That I would have rather them hired Peppermint Patty and Charlie Brown before they hired Doc Rivers.
Man. Hey, man, don't get me started with Doc, man. I said it when they first did it. I said, hold on. So y'all fired this man. This man got a 30-13 record, and all y'all come up with was Doc Rivers. I'm like, come on, man. Have y'all seen Doc's resume? Like, Doc has not won jack since Boston Celtics, and to me, he won more than one.
So Icon, this is my thing. Why would y'all talk about Mark Jackson in the front office and tell me you thinking about getting him? And then you just throw that conversation out the window and get Doc Rivers. Like, what?
Yeah, it didn't make no bit of sense. Like, this has been a straight disaster. Like, you done messed around, pretty much messed up Giannis's, because they done put this on Giannis. No, this ain't on Giannis. This on the front office. Y'all could have made a decision to get somebody else. Doc Rivers was never the answer or whatever. He half the time he can't never get along with the player. He find a way not to get along with the players. He makes no adjustments during the games at all, none. You know what I'm saying? You watch a Doc Rivers coach game, and from afterwards he always got the quote of, "Oh yeah, it don't look good right now," or we need to get better, or we need to play harder. No, bro, you need to make adjustments. You don't make no adjustments whatsoever. The one thing that I love about, like, let's say a Ty Lue. The thing about what a Ty Lue is, Ty Lue will, he don't care what level of player you are. If you're not playing at that level he wants you to, defensively, if you're struggling offensively, he'll take your butt out. You know what I'm saying? He will take your butt out, and he will put players in that's going to help, that's going to contribute to winning, or like I said, in the playoff series, especially. If he feel like one matchup is working better than another matchup, he don't mind using that matchup versus just having a player out there just because, just because they're a starter or whatever the case may be. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's the biggest thing when you talk about, that's when that's how I really can measure coaching, is what are you willing to do to make sure that you give the team the best chance to win? You know what I'm saying? What kind of matchups you gonna go? So like even with Darvin Ham going, like a lot of people go hard at Darvin Ham. Darvin Ham is better coach than Doc Rivers. I'm just gonna put it out there. Darvin Ham is a better coach than Doc Rivers, because at least with Darvin Ham, you can make the, I ain't gonna say excuse, because injuries happen in the game in sports, but you can at least look at his situation and say, if you think about it, see, everybody not really looking at the Lakers, roster. Vanderbilt been out. Gabe Vincent only played like 10 games all year. Cam Reddish was out for a couple of months. Who else was the guy? A few other players, AD missed some games. LeBron missed some games. You know what I mean? So they've had players in and out the lineup throughout the whole season. Their whole bench was pretty much decimated throughout the whole season. So for them to still even be in the conversation is probably a testament to, so is it games where he kind of should make better adjustments or whatever. But I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna give this to Darvin Ham, is that Darvin Ham is his second year of being a head coach. Doc Rivers been coaching for 20-something plus years. And Doc Rivers still making the same coaching mistakes that he made back when he blew a 3-1 lead when he was in Orlando. So to me, I'm not giving Doc Rivers no grace like I would a Darren Ham, because Doc Rivers been coaching way too long to still blow 3-1 leads, and you know what I'm saying, and teams not showing up for games and all this other crap. So to me, I can't rock with that on when it comes to that or whatever. So look like my partner probably have some internet troubles. So I was about to get out of here anyway in a minute. I will say this about the NBA playoffs. I guess if I have to say more as far as like who we think gonna take it all. I will say this because I don't know the playoff series yet. It's kind of crazy. I understand why they did add the play-in game, because it made teams and players have to play hard up until the very end, and to have a last day of the season where everything matters is good for the game, especially throughout the regular season when players miss a lot of games. So I think it's good for the game to have this. So I will say this. I still got Boston coming out of the East. And I know at one time I said the Clippers, but the Clippers are too up and down. So as of right now, I'm going to say I still got Denver coming out of the West. You know what I'm saying? I got Denver going against Boston. And if I was to put something on it right now, and say between Denver and Boston winning a championship right now, oh, man. That's a difficult one for me. I think it could go 7 games easily. Sometimes I don't have the much faith sometimes in Tatum and Brown, because they can be inconsistent. And sometimes I don't think that, especially Jason Tatum, to be a superstar player and people putting him top 5 player in the NBA, I don't think he understands the moment all the time. He's had his clutch moments, but he's had moments where, like, what was one game he went like 0 for 13 or something like that. As a superstar, that should never happen, because I don't care, like, the greats, when they struggling in the game. The one thing I would always say about Jordan more than any other player, and I'm put that out there so people think I'm always just hating on Jordan or whatever. Like I said, I put him 1 and 1A when it comes to the players that I feel like are the greatest to me, him and LeBron. But the one thing I'm going to say about Jordan is that Jordan could be going the first 3 quarters. He could be 2 for 17. But that fourth quarter, he going to find a way to get to the basket. He going to find a way to get his shot off somehow, some way. And so, and Kobe was like that too. So I just feel like with Jason Tatum, stop taking jump shots. If your shot ain't going in, you know what I'm saying, drive to the basket. You 6'10", you know what I'm saying, figure it out. So I'm gonna say right now, I'm still say Denver wins it all again, unless Boston show me something different, because I don't even know if they can really show me nothing different in the playoffs. But I'm gonna say this: the scary team in the East is the Philadelphia 76ers. Don't be surprised if Philadelphia goes against Boston in that NBA Eastern Conference Finals. And the fact that they got Nick Nurse instead of that doggone Doc Rivers, don't be surprised if Philly be the Miami Heat and upset the Boston Celtics. You know what I'm saying? So we haven't seen enough games with the new lineup when after Joel Embiid got hurt and they brought in Buddy Hield or whatever and gave him another shooter. But don't be surprised if Philadelphia 76ers end up in the NBA Finals, because Joel Embiid going to be motivated, especially if he get a chance to go against Joker, you know what I'm saying, a mano in them finals. And if everybody's healthy, it could be very interesting, because I feel like Philly actually gives Denver more problems than Boston, because the fact that you got Joel Embiid who can guard a Jokic. I think he's the only player in the NBA right now that can guard Jokic and really give him some real issues. And if he can neutralize Jokic anyway at all, don't be surprised. Now, y'all heard it first. Don't be surprised if Philly end up in the NBA Finals just because they don't have that Doc Rivers. They got Nick Nurse, and Nick Nurse is a hell of a coach. Don't be surprised. So anyway, shout out to the VGN Network. Um, all our affiliates are with them, all the channels, stations, that's involved. Because normally my counterpart does the whole thing. I can't remember everything on top of my head what he normally says, but he normally does it. So I apologize. But surprise, shout out to the VGN network. Our 191 countries, all the different countries from Bolivia to Hungary to Japan to China to Russia to Germany to, like I said last night, Sudan. I met a couple of Sudan cats this past week. Gave me some jewels when it came to the trucking game. So shout out to all them guys, them people out there, and in all the other countries that represent us and hold us down when it comes to being a people to be able to see this all over the world. So y'all have a blessed and blessed weekend. You know what I'm saying? And try to do something this week to be productive and great, and and treat yourself. Don't cheat yourself. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, till next time.
People seen it, but they just don't know.
What I told you, Cutter.
People seen it, but they just don't know. People seen it, but they just don't know.
Huh?
People.
Let's go.